Hello everyone. In this video, I will talk about the book A Road to Wealth and Happiness by Nguyễn Thanh Xuân. Focus on the first chapter, The Ego. A Road to Wealth and Happiness by Nguyễn Thanh Xuân is a compelling guide to navigating life's dual quests for material success and personal fulfillment, with its emphasis on self-discovery, personal growth, and the practical application of wisdom. The book invites readers to reflect on their inner selves while also aiming for the outer achievement. The blend of philosophical insights with actionable advice makes this book is a thoughtful contribution to the self-help genre. In this review, I will particularly focus on the first chapter, which explores the concept of the ego, a pivotal theme that shapes the entire narrative of the book. The ego, the foundation of inner transformation. The first chapter, titled The Ego, an accessory illusion, lays the groundwork for the author's broader arguments about wealth and happiness. Nguyễn Thanh Xuân takes a unique approach by focusing on the ego not merely as a psychological concept but as central force that affects our pursuit of both material and spiritual fulfillment. Her treatment of the ego is nuanced, portraying as a double-edged sword. It can be the source of ambition and drive, but unchecked, it can also lead to suffering and discontent. In this chapter, Thanh Xuân presents the ego as a construct of self, often shaped by society, upbringing, and external validation. She emphasizes how we, as individuals, tend to build an identity around achievements, material possessions, and social status. According to Thanh Xuân, this identification with the ego is what prevents people from attaining true happiness. When our sense of self-worth is tied to how much we can earn or how we are perceived by others, we become trapped in the cycle of seeking validation, which Thanh Xuân argues is ultimately unsustainable. The paradox of the ego. What stands out in Thanh Xuân's exploration of the ego is the paradox she highlights. While the ego is the essential tool for navigating the world, it is also a root of much of our suffering. This paradox is the focal point of the chapter, where she delves into the intricate balance between using the ego to achieve wealth and success while simultaneously transcending it to the experience lasting happiness. Thanh Xuân makes it clear that the ego is necessary for certain aspects of life, particularly in the realm of achievement and pursuit of wealth. Ambitions, competition, and self-promotion are often driven by ego. And in the competitive world of business, a strong sense of self can lead to success. However, she argues that the ego should be a servant, not a master. The problem arises when individuals become enslaved by their egos, measuring their worth solely by external achievements. In such cases, even the attainment of wealth leads to fleeting satisfaction as the ego continually demands more. This nuisance take on the ego's role in life challenges the reader to think about the fine line between healthy ambition and destructive attachment to self. Thanh Xuan's writing encourages readers to harness the power of the ego to create wealth, but not to remain conscious of its limitations. She suggests that the true road to happiness lies in recognizing the ego for what it is, a tool, not the identity. Practical wisdom for ego management. One of the strengths of Thanh Xuan's writing is her ability to blend philosophical insights with practical advice. In this chapter, she offers readers several methods of managing the ego and minimizing its negative impact on their lives. Meditation and mindfulness, for example, are presented as powerful tools for quieting the ego. Thanh Xuan emphasized that through regular practice, individuals can develop the awareness necessary to observe their thoughts and actions without being controlled by them. In addition, she advocates for practicing humility and gratitude as antidotes to the ego's constant need for validation. By consciously shifting the focus from oneself to others, people can step outside of the confines of the ego and experience a more profound sense of connection and purpose. This shift, she argues, is key to achieving true happiness. Another practical strategy Thanh Xuan discussed is detachment from the outcomes. While the ego is obsessed with success and failure, she encourages readers to focus on the process rather than the results. By doing so, individuals can find joy and satisfaction in the act of creation, whether or not it leads to material rewards. This approach helps to break the cycle of ego-driven dissatisfaction, where success only brings temporary relief and failure leads to feelings of worthlessness. Connecting the ego to wealth and happiness. While the first chapter primarily focuses on the ego, its relevance to the broader themes of wealth and happiness is evident. Thanh Xuan sets the stage of the rest of the book by establishing that inner peace and fulfillment are only possible when the ego is understood and managed. Wealth, in Thanh Xuan's view, is not inherently bad. In fact, it can be a source of freedom and security. However, the relentless pursuit of wealth driven by an unchecked ego, often leads to unhappiness. Thanh Xuân argues that happiness is a state of being that arises from within, independent of external circumstances. By mastering the ego, individuals can pursue wealth without becoming trapped by the desire for more. This balance between ambition and contentment is the key to living a fulfilling life where wealth and happiness coexist harmoniously. Conclusion. In A Road to Wealth and Happiness, Nguyễn Thanh Xuân offers a thought-provoking exploration of the ego and its impact on our lives. The first chapter is a powerful introduction to the book's central themes, laying the foundation for deeper understanding of how ego shapes both our pursuit of material success and our quest for inner peace. Thanh Xuan's ability to weave philosophical insights with practical advice makes this chapter both intellectually engaging and personally transformative. For anyone seeking to navigate the complexities of modern life, where wealth and happiness often seem at odds, Thanh Xuan's insights into the ego provide a valuable roadmap for finding balance and fulfillment. Thank you so much for tuning in, and please click subscribe button to the next review of the second chapter. Thank you.